which position groups are underperforming or overperforming as we head into the Iron Bowl?
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, welcome back into Locked On Bama, AHSA Radio Network's Luke Robinson. That's me. Alabama internet legend Jimmy Stein. That's him. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. We'll talk about FanDuel in just a little bit. Look, thank you guys so much for making Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network, and we're a part of it all because of you. We appreciate you guys so much. So, Jimmy, we thought it'd be kind of fun to let's talk about the position groups, where we are, like sort of a season grade along with trends and where we think they're headed right here towards the end of the season. Maybe later in the week we can do a comparison of position groups to Auburn. But for now, let's just sort of grade them based on what our expectations were and where they've been so far. I think the easiest thing to do is start with quarterbacks, and that's what we'll do. I'm going to give the quarterback a solid B+. I could make the argument it could be a little better because I think it's exceeded most people's expectations. But the last three games have made me want to take it all out of A range. I'm almost more to B than I am to A-.
Yeah, I want to give Ty an A because I think 2025 season Ty gets an A, but that grade is in danger here. We're in danger territory of it really falling out of A range, which is crazy considering where he was a couple weeks ago. Now, I do want to say I want to give more credit to LSU and Oklahoma defensively. I think they're high-quality defenses, and I think sometimes, it's not about you, it's about them too. But Eastern Illinois is not that, and Ty still didn't play that great. Those numbers really, the numbers really weren't bad other than the, two that you have to circle and put an exclamation point, next to the interceptions. But I think it was 11 of 16, so you didn't have a lot of balls hitting the ground. He just threw those two interceptions. But I think where Ty is the key to the game, because you're not going to go to Jordan-Hare and run for 200 yards. You're just not. This team is not going to do that. So it's going to be on Ty. He has to make enough plays to win the game. I'm not expecting you to go out there, Ty, and run up 40 on a really good SEC defense. But high 20s to me are a must to win the game. To win the game, you better be in the high 20s to give the defense some grace here. I mean, the defense, we can't expect them to pitch a shutout, not at Jordan-Hare. So score in the high 20s, and then we're back with giving Ty Simpson an A here because I think so much of that is on Ty.
I do too. And look, we only ran for 269 against Eastern Illinois. Now, part of that is because we had a lot of short fields. I mean, we blocked a punt one time. I know that led to a missed field goal, but we had an interception.
Keelan, right?
I'm sorry?
We talked about that. Didn't Keelan Keeley block that punt?
Keon Keeley and Luke Metz was right there too. I think Keeley's the one that got it, but Luke Metz was right there too. I thought it was great to see both of them do that. Yeah, we hadn't talked about that much. We also hadn't talked about Dijon Lee's interception, which was fantastic, to sort of pin it against his head. That's a good awareness. And we didn't talk about the fact that Dijon Lee was back there returning a punt late in the game.
That was interesting. I mean, that was interesting. Obviously, this is a good game to try some things we hadn't talked about.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about all the time. Ryan Grubb on the sideline for this game instead of up in the booth, which was for DeBoer, sort of an experiment, like, hey, if you're going to do something different, this is a good week to do it. And they had been talking about whether that would be a better setup or not. It'll be interesting to see if it sticks against Auburn or if they're right back to putting Grubb upstairs. But I
want him back up. I'll be honest. I want him back upstairs.
I like the play caller upstairs while we have a different quarterback coach that's down there in Ty's ear face to face. So I like that the quarterback coach can be there to Ty's face to coach him while the play caller's upstairs. To me, that seems ideal. But DeBoer, in talking about it, said it in a way that makes me believe DeBoer and Saban have the exact philosophy when it comes to this, that it's up to them. That's how Saban was. When Saban was always asked, you're going to put somebody in the booth, you're going to have – Saban always left it up to the coordinator. Where do you want to be? And we're going to put you there because that's your choice. That's your call, not mine. And I think DeBoer has done the same thing with Grubb. He's told Grubb, hey, that's up to you. And Grubb's chosen to be upstairs. He wanted to try on the field for Eastern Illinois.
So the other thing that contributes to my grade of a B+ is that I think the two backups have performed very well when they've gotten in. I know that Keelan Russell, when he came in this game, he didn't finish off maybe his first drive. I think that it got to 4th and goal from about the 3 or 4, and we didn't complete a pass or something. But overall, I'm still super impressed with Keelan, super impressed with Austin Mack. I know they have not played the best competition, so I'm not giving Alabama too many bonus points here. I'm just saying that I think they've helped, not brought the grade down.
If you told me that our starting quarterback in 2026 was going to be Austin Mack, I would be very excited. If you told me the starting quarterback in 2026 was going to be Keelan Russell, I'd be very excited. That's how good those guys have looked. I'm excited about how good they'll be in the future, and the future could even be as soon as next year with those guys. I think Austin – and here's Austin Mack. Hey, if Ty comes back, and Austin Mack is ready to be a starting quarterback next year, no doubt. He's ready to be a starter. Austin is. And if Ty comes back, I'm granting Austin permission to go somewhere else and be a starter. It's time. As a redshirt junior, it'll be time for him to be a starter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Running backs.
Austin should stay here and compete for the job. If
100%.
Goes.
100%. Running back, nothing you can. I mean, I'm being kind and giving it a D. I'm being kind. Should be an F. It's a D.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, by the way, we didn't talk about this. I thought it was rather telling. I know Richard Young ended up scoring a touchdown. I believe he scored the last touchdown of the game against Eastern Illinois. But Richard Young is just falling off the earth when it comes to Alabama depth charts.
A.K. Deer played in the first quarter of this game. I do think that was interesting to me that AK played in the first quarter. I thought eyeball test, and I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Eyeball test, I thought AK Deer was the best running back on the field. And just watching them play football, and I'm like, okay, who's the best guy in terms of, the talent evaluation, I guess is what I'm talking about. Talent evaluation. I thought AK Deer was the best back that they played in the game. Does that mean he's going to play against Auburn? I don't know, but he played in the first quarter against Eastern Illinois. I thought that was interesting. And like Luke said, Richard Young is, I assume he's already in the portal basically. And that's fine. He needs to play somewhere. It's obviously not going to be here. So I think that's fair. I'm with you, Luke. I think a D. I'm not sure it's all the running backs room's fault, but this is a bottom line business and the production just is not there. I think a D is fair. I'm just maybe I'm too nice. I'll say C- because it's not. I don't think it's all their fault, but I don't think your D is unfair.
I wish I had more teachers like you. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, I had to get in law school somehow. Just
okay. So wide receivers. I mean, look, I'm also going to give it a B+.
Yeah.
At first I'm like, oh, that's a no-brainer. That's an A. And then I started thinking, well, I mean, I didn't even, by the way, you were in the stadium. Did Ryan Williams drop against Eastern Illinois? Was it that bad? It was like for our first or second touchdown, he dropped the pass and they didn't show it on TV. Like it happened so fast. It was like a bang, bang thing where Ty noticed nobody was covering him maybe. And then the pass wasn't great. And they said Ryan Williams dropped it, but they never re-showed it.
I don't recall it being – now somebody can remind me in the comments. I don't recall thinking – because normally I'm like, Ryan did it again, or Ryan, I thought it was more on Ty.
Okay, they also said something about it potentially being a one-hopper. So I thought the pass may have been low. I thought it was a rushed thing potentially. I mean, again, this is me. I'm playing out the fantasy in my head because they never showed it again, which was infuriating because I wanted to know who to blame.
It was very early. I think it was maybe even the first possession.
I think it was.
And it was, by the way, on the complete opposite side of the field from where I sit, so I didn't get a great. And I don't think they showed it on the Jumbotron. So I'm not having good recall on the play. But at no point do I recall believing Ryan dropped another ball. I don't recall having that memory. But Here's the thing. I want to say wide receivers, the strength of this team. I still believe that's the case. I'm not sure I can give them an A because Ryan, I think he's been banged up a lot. And I think that's the culprit here. Ryan's been banged up a lot, and he had the drops. Germ's been an all-SEC player. I mean, I really believe that. Zay's been good. Lottie Brooks has been really good for a freshman. But lately, the production here among that group has not been good. Lately, the production has fallen off. Now, a lot of that might be on Ty, so that might not be fair. But I don't think the wide receivers are putting up the numbers that they should right now. So I'm going to give some of that blame to that group, and I'm going to give them a B+ heading into Auburn. But also telling that group, if I got to talk to him this week and got invited into Shep's room, I would say, hey, this week, you're the strength of this team. This is on you. This is go win the game. Go win the game. And don't put it all on Ty. Get open, catch the ball, make a play. You're the strength of this team. You're the reason. If Alabama makes college football playoff, y'all are a big reason. So
100%.
Go be the reason.
And not only that, I would say I watched some of the Auburn Mercer game, and I know all the talk is about Deuce Knight, and rightfully so. I mean, when a true freshman makes his first start and it counts for 6 touchdowns. By the way, it's weird. He accounted for 6 touchdowns. So did Pavia, and so did Arch Manning. And Arch Manning had a receiving, passing, and rushing touchdown. It was a bananas day in the SEC. But anyway, the other thing that I noticed was that Mercer had dudes open, and like Auburn, their secondary was not good in this game. Now, again, it's Mercer, so I can't. If I'm going to say I'm going to devalue the good stuff, I got to devalue the bad stuff too. I get that. I'm just saying,
17 at one point.
It was 7. No. It was 14-14. Then I think Auburn went up 21, and then 14, then 21-17. Then the Katie barred the door. But Pavia also ate Auburn's lunch.
That's a thing to me.
Pavia ate Auburn's lunch with passing and running. So I mean, it's there to be gotten. You just have to go get it, and your receivers have to make plays. Pavia's receivers make plays, even though I don't think they're nearly as talented as ours. So we're going to go through the rest of the position groups after I tell you about FanDuel. The NBA is back. There's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at bigger payout, Joe. It keeps everything exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Jimmy. Tell him.
The NBA.
Tell them about it, Jim. That's what I'm going to start doing with Orgeron's imminent return to LSU.
Tell them about it, JoJo. Isn't that what he said? Tell them about it, JoJo.
Tell them about it, JoJo. My Orgeron's not as good as my Jimbo, but anyway. So offensive line, and we'll include the tight ends with this group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's sort of like I got to meet them in the middle. Run blocking's been awful. Pass blocking's been pretty good. I'm going to give them a solid B-. Like there's I think B- is fair.
Before anybody says, no, this is an F or a D, and I can see a lot of people wanting a worse grade for this group. Let's start with this. Parker Brailsford has performed at a nearly All-American level. He might even make some first, second, or third-team All-American teams. Caden Proctor certainly will be. He is a freaking Lombardi finalist. Alabama hasn't had many offensive linemen Lombardi finalists over the years. And I put a ton of weight, no pun intended, on that. In that, I mean, so look, you have 2 all-star performers. That probably makes it a B in and of itself. Now, the other 3 spots have been a bit of a rotational mess all year, but not a horrible mess. Again, I want to distinguish between what's a not great offensive line and a terrible one. At no point has Alabama's offensive line been terrible. It has not. It's not great, but there's a difference between not great and terrible. I say B-. I like your you're great. Overall, a B-, and I'm excited about the future here, even losing Brailsford and Proctor, because so many guys play like Will Sanders, like Michael Carroll. These guys are going to be star players at Alabama.
Well, we also do believe they probably will hit the portal in some capacity, right? I mean, I think you're going
maybe.
Okay.
I'm not as convinced, but maybe. And to some, it's not so much about will you go get an offensive lineman in the portal. It's a who and how much. I mean, I think they would be interested in a high-quality offensive lineman at a fair price. But I don't think it's going to be a desperation thing where they overpay. I don't think that'll be the case. Because
so
you can go into next year with Carroll and Lloyd at the tackles, Olas and Formby. Olas and Formby at the guards, and Will Sanders at center. I would be comfortable with that for next year myself, but I can see them going in the portal to get a high-quality guy at a fair price, market price.
All right, so linebackers, again, I want to give them a higher grade. I don't think I can. I mean, I can pick Deontay Lawson he played a little bit, right? He didn't play a ton. Let me think.
They played those young guys.
Justin Jefferson's had some really nice moments. He's had some
Caden
really
Jones
nice.
Played a ton. He's been out for weeks and weeks.
Caden Jones.
Caden Jones, and I thought Luke Metz was all over the place. I loved what I saw from Luke Metz yesterday, but you can't really apply Luke Metz to the grade of the season, because I think for the season you're talking about Pierre and Rousseau outside, and you're talking about Jefferson, Hillgreen, and Lawson inside. It's an A for me. It's an A for me, but
if Rousseau had been here all year, I think it's a no-brainer A. Because Rousseau hasn't been here, and there's been a moment or two of lapse, I guess. But really, the more I think about that, the more I'm like, Deontay Lawson caused that fumble against South Carolina. They've been able to make up for a lot of the stuff Quay Rousseau probably would be stopping. I'm gonna give him an A-. I'm gonna give him an A- with a bullet. I think if Quay Rousseau comes back, and by the way, he did play against Eastern Illinois, so assuming he will play against Auburn. I think this team, look, with a good performance against Auburn, they'll get an A or an A+.
I'm just going to say, because I'm so impressed by what Oklahoma does on defense, I'm going to say it loudly and proudly. This is the second best defense in the SEC.
Agreed.
And I think it's the strength of the defense in my mind is the DBs, but the linebackers are very close to the defensive backs in terms of if I'm ranking it in simple defensive back, linebacker, defensive line. I put the DBs at the top, linebacker second best, defensive line third, though the defensive line has been very good. And that's why this is the second best defense in the league, because there is no weak position group on defense. You can't be the second best defense in this league and be weak anywhere. It's impossible because the league is just too good.
I wonder how many other teams in this conference have had 3 games where the opponent doesn't score a touchdown. Now, we have 2 shutouts, and then LSU didn't score a touchdown.
No, it's impressive as heck. You can't.
When you add in that Oklahoma had a pick 6, and I mean, really, Oklahoma has scored just about every touchdown against us the last couple of years off turnovers. That's crazy. The last 2 years they've scored I can't think of a touchdown they scored without a turnover by us.
We probably have people out there saying, yes, this is the second best defense in the league, but the defensive line's terrible. That doesn't make any sense at all. It's just not true. And it can't be true. By definition, it can't be true. But I would put the defensive line third behind the DBs and the linebackers. But I'd give the defensive line B+, linebackers an A-, DBs an A+. The DBs are the reason this is the second best defense in the league.
No, I agree. I think the DBs have been fantastic. I think Tim Keenan has really come on. I was so proud of Tim Keenan having a big day against Eastern Illinois. I know it's nothing. I know it's Eastern Illinois, but I was proud of him, and I think he's going to have a big game against Auburn. I think he's going to be matched up against this Cale. I think his name's Cale Ellis. That he's the Ryan Williams of this year. He's only 17, and he's starting at center because Auburn lost Connor Lew. And think he could have a big game. I mean, Tim Keenan's really coming on, and he's a Bammer. So, I think Tim Keenan's also like the first one to. I think somebody mentioned that he was the first one to greet Connor Talty when he came off the field, like in a supportive way, not in a I can't believe how bad you suck way. That would not be a leader.
Tim Keenan's the quintessential leader. One of the many reasons this is a good football team that has an excellent chance to make the college football playoff. The leadership on the team is outstanding. The four captains in particular, but there's leaders beyond the four captains. Like Jeremy Bernard's not a captain, but he's a fantastic leader on the team. But Tim Keenan, I mean, he should be in the captain's Hall of Fame. How about Deontay Lawson, two-time captain? Ty Simpson, Caden Proctor, Parker Brailsford. These are leaders in every sense of the word.
Yeah, totally agree. And we got so much more Auburn talk to talk about, but we're going to talk a little basketball here in this third segment. For those who don't know, I'm headed to Vegas, or I'm actually in Vegas now as I'm doing this. I'm in Vegas and going to the Gonzaga game tonight. Looking forward to it. It's probably going to be too late for most everybody on a work night, but and I hate that they put us like the last game of this thing. But whatever. So I also didn't know this until recently. It's held in two different venues. So I was thinking that I was going to get to go to like one venue and just sort of be like the NCAA tournament. I know they rush everybody out, but I was going to get to hang out for a while. I can go to two games. I can't remember what the first game is I go to, but it's going to be, that game and then the Bama game. And that'll be for both nights. Bama plays UNLV the second night. That, by the way, UNLV is about the easiest team you're going to get to play in this tournament, and they are essentially the home crowd. And so this tournament is bananas. And also this tournament, this Players Era tournament, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, this is awful because it is destroying the other tournaments." Because I have watched some of these other tournaments, and that's true. Like nobody's in these other. Georgia was taking on. Like a Kansas State or I can't remember who they were playing, but it was like it just wasn't a good matchup, and it's not sexy because the Players Era tournament is the one that gives the players an opportunity to win a boatload of cash, and so everybody wants to play in this thing. So hopefully Alabama does well and gets a lot of money for the players, but this Gonzaga game is going to be huge. I know Gonzaga isn't as highly ranked. I mean, so I've seen them ranked anywhere in the ESPN Power Rankings. They're like 12, and in the AP, I think they're in the top 17, 18. They are awesome. Gonzaga is really, really good. So this is going to be a hell of a test for Alabama.
They're going to win a bunch of games. They do every year in their league, but this is a really good Gonzaga team. Gonzaga's good every year, but this is a better than normal Gonzaga team, which is scary. But here's the thing that's so fun to me about games like this, and I'd say the same thing about Illinois and St. John's games Alabama won. If you win, it's awesome. And if you lose, it's almost all right, so what? It's not going to hurt you to lose this game against Gonzaga. It's not going to hurt you. I mean, Gonzaga is going to be too highly rated, too highly regarded, especially at the end of this year. Y'all watch how many games. I mean, this is a 30-win type team. They're gonna losing's not gonna hurt you, but winning is a shot in the arm. Boy, if you can sit down in March when it comes to this game is about seeding at the NCAA. It's not about making it; it's about the seeding when you get there. But a win over Illinois, a win over Gonzaga, that can be the difference in being a 3 and being a 1. I mean, this is about playing for a top seed in the tournament, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, because this is the kind of win that helps you get there.
And what are the odds we're playing another team that's led in assists by a guy named Braden Smith? Gonzaga's leading assist man is Braden Smith. He spells it completely different. It's not the same dude. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Boy, what a popular name. For a while, it was Jason Williams. I think there was 14 guys in the NBA named Jason Williams at one point.
And they all spelled Jason differently, like Jayson, Joy. Anyway, this Gonzaga team, just listen to some of their scores. Now, again, factor in the competition. But Texas Southern, they won 98-43. Oklahoma, they beat 83-68. Creighton, they beat 90-63. Alabama arch nemesis Creighton, they beat by 27.
They destroyed Creighton.
Arizona State, that's the worst offensive performance they've had this year, and they scored 77-65 at Arizona State. My son was at that game. Southern Utah, they won 122-50, Jimmy. So what I'm saying is take the over in this game. There's going to be a lot of fast pace, a lot of shooting, a lot of fun. That's again the irony to me because this one's on TNT, I think, and Alabama's against UNLV is on True TV, but it's the last game and it's going to be late at night, and it's going to be clearly, to me, the most entertaining game if you like shots and basketball and stuff.
The very fact that it's on TNT and you're playing Gonzaga, welcome to March. I mean, this will feel, and it's a tournament in Las Vegas, neutral floor. This is March. Welcome to March. Here we are in late November, but no, it will feel like March. The quality of play, and it's for Alabama to win the game. I think it's going to be this simple. Against Gonzaga, it's going to be fast-paced, a lot of shots. So make your shots, rebound the ones that you don't make. I mean, I know that's overly simplistic, but rebounding is this team's Achilles heel. I'm going to say that all year. I will believe that rebounding is going to be a game-to-game issue, especially when you play somebody good. And if you get killed on the boards, you won't win. If you make it competitive on the boards, you will win.
They've got a 6'9", 250-pound dude that looks like he should be playing for St. John's. He's a senior. He looks like he's 32 years old. And he looks like a dude. He's their leading rebounder with almost 9. I'm not even look up. I bet our leading rebounder is like what, 5 a game? Do you think?
Yeah, no one's really owning the boards, but I do think Keaton Bristow. I don't know that he's going to lead this team in rebounding, but I like the rebounding juice he brings. He just brings a lot of energy to that end of the floor. And I think Bristow is going to make the whole team a better rebounding team just because of the juice. And boy, Brad Underwood was so complimentary after the game. He really thought Bristow made the difference in the Illinois game. And I think he'll make a difference here against Gonzaga. And how about this? People listen to the show for amazing factoids. I didn't know this myself until this week, and I'm pretty amazed to find out that Bristow's sister is a fantastic basketball player and plays for Texas Tech. She's really good. She's one of the best players in the Big 12. I mean, and she plays for Texas Tech. And look, it's amazing. She looks just like him.
That's crazy. By the way, a little birdie told me Keaton Bristow had a boot on his foot on the plane, but it doesn't mean he's not going to play. That may just be like precautionary. I don't know.
Boots don't mean
boots don't mean
out. Boots don't mean they're out. Those boots, some boots are made for walking.
I knew. I was trying so hard I was like, who's going to come up with the joke first? You beat me to it. But by the way, Amari Allen leads us in rebounding with 8 per game. And I'm like, what? That doesn't seem right.
What I just didn't expect about Amari Allen's game, because you don't know until you see these freshmen. I don't know the basketball like I do the football players as prospects, but I'm so impressed that we play Amari Allen at 3 positions in the same game. In the same game, he'll play the 2, the 3, and the 4 in terms of on the offensive end and on the defensive end. He can guard the big dude. He can guard the perimeter. Another guy that brings a lot of energy. I had a very knowledgeable friend this week that's very good with the basketball. Tell me in a text, you watch Amari Allen will be a first-round pick. Now, I don't know.
No, I agree.
I don't know that he meant specifically this year, but he's like, Amari Allen will be a first-round pick. And this guy knows
I don't think
he's pretty good.
All right. That's going to do it for this pod. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, roll tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.